I didn't come out as a lesbian right away after I divorced. I moved to the city, and it was the first time in my life that I had ever been on my own. I was 31 years old. I met my husband when I just turned 16. I was a teenager. Everything was an adventure. Every single moment of my life was an adventure. I didn't want to settle down. I didn't want to be with anybody. I just wanted to find out what could I do? Where was I going? I got a job as a waitress on one of the jazz club restaurants on the bay by the airport, and became friends with a lot of people. I had what I used to call, it's a line from a country western song, my one night stand in boogie band days. It lasted about 6 months. It got really boring. I was a token feminist, and there was a token African American woman who I would pick her up at Hunters Point, and we would go to work, and then I would drop her off on the way home in the city, and come to find out she was a lesbian on top of everything else. So there was something about my life that I was ending up being around a lot of lesbians, and going to school and being a waitress. So it was a whirlwind, and in this whirlwind, it was like, I've got to stop. What is going on? Am I a lesbian? Am I heterosexual? What's going on? All my friends are starting to come out at school. I don't know what's going on. I was going through this whole period of like, I've just got to, I just won't be sexual for a while and just clear my head out and try and figure out what's going on. But in that year, I was celibate for a whole year. And when I figured it out, it just felt really good. And I came out as a lesbian. I did not fall in love with a woman right away. It wasn't because I left the reason for leaving my husband or anything at all like that. And coming out as a lesbian was a political statement, but it was much more than that. You becoming part of this growing community, this giant wave, and there was so much support and a cheering section, literally. It was just like, yeah, you're in the club. There's like this community feeling just washes over you, and it was exciting and wonderful and so supportive. And if something hard happened or you lost your kids, because that was happening, there was support. There was like everywhere you went, you were supported and loved and honored. But the politics of the time were so lesbian that if you said women, it equals lesbian. When I came out as a lesbian, two interesting things. My ex-husband said, "You're not a lesbian, you're bisexual," and I told him there was no such thing. And there was never, I was never threatened with him taking taking the kids, taking my rights to see them away or anything. But I did have friends that lost their rights. And one friend, the husband, kidnapped them and took them to Italy. Coming out is so different. If you're isolated in a place like rurally or whatever it is, and you don't have support anywhere around, it's very hard to come out. But I know people come out online, and then it's a safer kind of a thing. And I think it's important to come out. Risking yourself is one of the most important things. And I guess I've been really privileged to be able to have done that in my life, because there wasn't violence around me or the possibility of violence around me when I came out, and I came out twice. There was like emotional violence, and I had to deal with stuff coming out as bisexual that was not nice. It was wrong. But it was basically safe for me to come out, and I think for somebody young coming out and trying to figure it out, if you don't feel safe and you don't have anybody to talk to that could help you or protect you or give you advice, I would check out the internet and find a safe place there to come out and connect with people, because holding something like that back in is not so good. Love yourself. If you're going, love yourself for exactly who you are. That's the most important thing.